Hello again, people that like pistols, but miniature toy pistols, not real pistols, although I like real pistols as well. I'm going to read some Wikipedia because this is the most important gun of modern times in my opinion. After the 1911, I think this is probably the most popular and it is probably the most reliable pistol I'm aware of. But, you know, I don't own a mess load of guns. I've only owned 7 or 10 guns, real guns in my life. Anywho, so in 1980, the Austrians were looking for a new replacement weapon for their armed forces. So they spec'd out a gun that was going to take a 9mm parabellum, and it had to be able to be dropped from 2 meters onto a steel plate without accidentally discharging, and it would also have a test of 5,000 bar, an overpressurized cartridge. A normal 9mm is around half of that pressure. And so another, I believe, an Austrian, Gaston Glock, looked at those specs, and he knew nothing about guns, but he hired people and he knew a lot about polymers. So his team developed the Glock 17, and it turned out to be the best pistol submitted, and so they won the contract. So it entered the Austrian service for the military and law in 1982, and it's all history after that. I personally didn't buy a real Glock for several years because everyone was questioning whether or not a plastic gun would be reliable. All right. But after reading, magazine articles of people shooting hundreds of thousands of rounds through them, I decided that was going to be the pistol I was going to trust my life to. So I bought a Glock 26. Coincidentally, this person here on YouTube has shot 120,000 rounds through his. I maybe shot 50. Alright, maybe 500 rounds before I sold it off. Anyhow, that is all I care to learn about. They're on their 5th generation of Glocks now. I don't know what generation this is, but let's take a look now. So you have that bag I've come familiar with now is Yingtu. I have a couple other reviews on this brand of weapons, but on AliExpress they're not listed as Yingtu. They're just listed as 1/3 scale keychain pistol. So that's what you want to search, or I'll find a link for you guys if you're interested. Alright, so it is a keychain, and I'm going to get some pliers and get rid of this. Well, might as well show you how I do it. So, you just got to get 2 pliers, bend this ring sideways, there we go, open it up, and that is, I'll reuse the key ring, but the chain I would never trust. Alright, so back at it here. I have a large collection of 1/6 scale action figure weapons, and they're just awesome. They're so small, but they literally have molded in text that's legible. See? That's crazy. You can see how ugly my fingerprints are. And yet this thing, you can slide this thing back. You can actually remove the magazine. Hold on here. I don't know if the magazine is holding the slide back, so. I don't really review these 1/6 things too often. I guess if enough people leave comments, I'll start reviewing some. I actually have a box of probably 100 of them I've never even taken out of their bags. You can buy them on eBay, these sort of things. But they're really expensive because very often you have to actually take apart a whole action figure set and sell off all the clothes and parts individually. And for some reason this one is not sliding back. Something's catching it. It's plastic, so that's why I don't play with these, because they are plastic. They're just supposed to look super nice, which they do. Alright, so if this is 1/6 scale and this is 1/3 scale, theoretically this should be twice as tall and twice as everything. So that, losing focus obviously. Yeah, that seems to check out, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. They all are probably generally correct in their dimensioning, so I'm not going to bust out a ruler. Alright, so this is my first one that actually ejects rounds. The other Yingtus, they don't actually eject. They do, slide the action back, but they don't actually eject. Interesting, that automatically caught the slide. The slide catch is spring-loaded. That's really cool. Alright, so, yeah, the slide to release there. That's cool. And then you can't take out the magazine unless you literally use the mag release. Is it ambidextrous? It is not. Okay. So then the magazine, we have it's all die-cast metal, it seems. This pin is probably holding the plate on. I don't know if that comes apart. I need some sort of pin. But it's probably spring-loaded, so you be careful. Yeah, I bet that thing can come off. Well, yeah, so there's a spring, and then the mag plate is pushing the rounds up, or the other way, right? So we may as well load this thing up. Now we got 5 rounds, brass rounds, really cool. Where are my scissors? These are not really realistic looking rounds, but that's probably to, for the action to grab it and eject the round. So it's still, I think, cool to have rounds that work as far as being able to eject, even if they look a little bit off. That's fine by me. So another specification on the real Glock, set by the Austrian military, is they had to have magazines that you could load without assistance. So I guess a lot of other guns, they might need a special mag loader or something like that. This is really difficult because they're so small, but as you can see, it is possible. I'm getting there. The last one. Alright, come on. I think you can actually also buy just rounds if you want to, if you lose some, or maybe this is capable of carrying more than 5 rounds. Okay, so that is really neat, right? Very, very realistic. What's not so realistic is the lack of the dots here indicating the rounds. So that would have been cool if they did it, but I guess they were just trying to save on the mold. There's probably a 2-part mold coming this way. So there's the mag catch indent. Alright, let's see what else we have. So naturally you're going to have the key ring, which is not realistic, but oh, I wonder if that's a set screw or something to remove it. Oh yeah, you could remove it, but then you'll just have a hole. So I'm going to just leave it. So just like the real gun, this is a polymer frame. It's got the little textured grip, it's got the proper pins there, and it even indicates the safety on the trigger there. That's pretty neat, but it's not a separate piece. It's just molded with the trigger. You heard the thing snap. And then we have a rail here for the lights and stuff like that. A little bit of the molding gate torn away. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, the barrel is very shiny chrome. It only goes in that deep, so it's not, you're not going to shoot real things through this unless you modify it somehow. I'm too lazy to do so. No, nothing there. Yeah, that seems nicely detailed. Okay, the slide release there, and let's see how the barrel actually, yeah, okay, it does go down. And yeah, you see the front is pointed up like a real Glock, how it works. The sights though, yeah, this is just part of the top rail. It's not, you don't see any indication of the thing being having a dovetail sliding sideways, so that's a little bit lacking. But this was a cheap keyring, so I'm still okay with it. It seems pretty good for the price, really. Okay, so we want to see the thing fire, right? So I'm going to just slide this back. Let's take a look here. And yeah, you see it caught the thing. Will it chamber it? I guess it has to, right? If it's going to eject it. Let's get the flashlight. So yeah, it's going to probably chamber the round. And that looks pretty deep. So, well, naturally, I'll try to do it slow. Oh boy, this is really hard to do. I don't have 3 hands. I'll release this. Slide, yeah, so it is chambered. That's pretty neat. It actually chambers the round. I guess I would have to if it's going to eject it. So let's see how fast this thing gets ejected. I see. If you do it slow, it doesn't get ejected. So now, hold on, I gotta drop the mag because... Alright, it didn't eject it sideways. I think it basically has to work quickly in order to actually throw the round out. Alright, so let's try this again. I'm going to do this quickly. Yeah, there you go. 2, 3, 4. That one got caught in there. Alright, well that's really neat. It works, right? It literally chambers the round and it grabs it and ejects it out. That is a cool toy. It's a fidget toy / keychain thing, right? So if you're bored, waiting for someone or something, you just sit around and play with this. But yeah, it actually is very prone to losing the actual rounds. Alright, the printing there looks really nice. It's I wonder if it's etched. Actually, this is etched, I think. I can feel these numbers. So I think they actually laser rastered this in there. I don't think it's paint. So that's really cool. Okay, nice, nice. Alright, so now I'm a little curious about disassembly. So, should be able to theoretically catch that. Pull the trigger. Alright, it's not set. And then, well, I want to release that, and now pull these two little things down on the side. Oh man, this is hard because it's so small. I did pull those down. Oh boy, that is really hard to do, but I'm positive this thing probably must come apart. Pull the trigger now. Alright, and now let's just try it. Maybe if I use both fingernails on each side and then push the thing on the table. There, it worked. So that's the way I'm gonna do it. Yeah, those things are so difficult to grab. It's almost like you want to have like a tool to push down both of those simultaneously. I'm not sure if I needed to cock it back in the first place, or maybe it's catching now again. No, maybe I have to hold this in. Okay, so let's look at the inside. Yeah, it does have the guide rod and the recoil spring there. And so let's see if I can take this out. Now that spring, oh, careful, yeah, so it looks like a chromed spring of sorts. This looks chromed as well, very neat. And then the barrel. It's so cool. Yeah, I guess if you had a vise and a bench drill, you could definitely drill out this barrel. Yeah, because oh, you know what though? Maybe I wonder if this hole for the round is lower than the actual thing here. So if you did want to make this try to fire, you'd naturally want to start from this side and drill that way. But I'm not recommending you do that. So. Alright, it's actually lubricated. There's actually some oil in there. And there's a little spring up in there. Yeah, there's a pin, I guess, holding that whole assembly in. But, I think that's as far as I'm going to go. There's the hook that grabs the round as it ejects it. So that's really neat. So this is metal. Some probably, I assume, die cast and stuff like that. And then down here we have some more die cast stuff there, and then this must be just some sheet metal bent, the whole trigger mechanism there. So hold on. Yeah, okay, you can see that moving there. So that's really neat. Yeah, that's crazy. I bet if you search the internet, I bet there's someone that probably has a CNC shop and has maybe tried to make like parts for this and actually make it fire something, like a little plastic BB or something like that. I suppose, yeah, you might. That would be some really small parts to try to make a real trigger group in there, but that is way beyond my ability and my patience to try to do. All right, so let's put this back here. I will never take this apart again. There's just no reason to, but I just thought I want to see if it is possible. So this is a little bit tough here, that spring. Alright. Yeah, come on. It is so small and fidgety. And you probably don't want to do this over a carpet. It'll be really hard to find some of these parts if they flew off somewhere. I'm going to have to come back. This is too painful. Alright, you'll notice there's two actual landings there, but I'm pretty sure it has to be on the upper back landing. But boy, I just don't want the thing to fly off somewhere. So that's a little bit... Maybe it'll just align itself when I put it on the... So, see, there you go. So that's why you don't... Luckily the monitor was back there. Alright, I think I figured out a safe way to get this together. So I'm holding it like this on this hand, right? And I'm basically trying to push this rod through the hole there in the upper. And there we go. Well, again, it's still in the lower setting. But if I hold that together, you notice the rails here are plastic. They're not metal like the real one up here. And then this thing is You gotta make sure that's aligned. Sorry, I know I lost focus. I don't have 3 hands. I can't hit the screen right now. So hopefully that spring now aligned itself, which it did. Alright, so you don't need to worry about the alignment of that guide rod up front. Cool. Yeah, this thing is plastic, I think. This thing holding the back end together. Yeah, the only thing really lacking here is the detail of the sights having dovetails to go sideways. But again, it was an inexpensive thing. Really cool. So here are my other 1/3 scale pistols. My first one is this all plastic Combat Master. But you know, you see, there's just no round in there at all. This magazine actually was designed to, I think, hold a USB, like a micro SD card or something, in there. Again, it's a keychain thing, so it's a good way to store something, I guess. And then this Yingtu here, yeah, you know, there's no round visible. It's not brass colored. It's just, I think, molded into the... Oh, there's just nothing at all. You know what? That moves down, up and down. Let me see if I can take a round from this. I think it's too big. Yeah. So, even though it's the same company, I'm going to just try to put it in backwards. Yeah, this round is too big. So, that's, you know, they had to make concessions to make the thing actually be able to eject out of the pistol there. Alright, well anyways, this was pretty inexpensive too. All of these are, I think, under $10. So, that's pretty neat. But yeah, it just doesn't look as cool without the brass round in there. And this Desert Eagle, same thing. Oh no, it actually has a round in there, but it just doesn't eject. Let's see. Yeah, so it does have one round. I wonder if it's the same. Eesh. Boy, you know what? I still think the Glock round is bigger than this Desert Eagle one, which actually is not accurate at all, because this Desert Eagle is, I think, the largest pistol round available. Yeah, I don't know if you can mix and match. I don't think so. Let me take this one out. It's just making it a little more difficult. And let's take a look. Yeah, actually now I do think they are the same size. Just yeah, I think they are the same. It's just that the Desert Eagle doesn't actually eject rounds. Alright, so yeah, you can interchange those one Desert Eagle round with this. It's interesting because it does look like it's hollow up here. But yeah, it just doesn't grab the round. Yeah, so there's no way this ejects it. Alright. Yeah, it's just curious, size-wise, aligning these by the tip of the guns. Yeah, the Glock is the smallest than this Kimber 1911. I don't remember if this is I think this is probably a 2011, and then the Deagle obviously is the hugest. It's just a little poster putting hit, holding it up there. So, I'm just a little curious for people that actually have real pistols, and for self-defense purposes, what brand do you trust the most with your life? For me, it would be a Glock. I own 2 of them. I don't own them anymore. I live in a country where I can't have guns, and so that's partially why I have miniatures of them. And I play airsoft as well. Okay, so anyways, yeah, I'd be curious, what brand do you guys like? SIG, you know, good old 1911, or HK as well. I guess I would trust my life to an HK, but I think I would still prefer Glock. I mean, I think there's some videos of people shooting 1,000,000 rounds through some of them. Granted, they may have replaced the barrel, but the original parts might have 1,000,000 rounds through them. That's just insane. Thank you for watching. If you like this stuff, I have more videos coming. I am pretty much into these 1/3 scale pistols. I don't know about the rifles because they're quite large. Only time will tell there. We'll see you then in the next video. Bye.